Good evening, I'm Jeff Lyons. It is 9 o'clock here tonight on Friday, June the 12th. Time for the 14First Alert Weather Show at 9. You can comment in. I'm watching your Facebook comments on the 14 News Facebook page. We are on alert for Saturday storms, but before we get there, we have a look outside. It's been a pleasant evening. Kind of heavy traffic there on the Twin Bridges, south and northbound. The next several hours will get even cooler. We should drop down into the low 60s. But then tomorrow we have a first alert weather day. A few severe thunderstorms will be possible in the afternoon. Now the risk is relatively low, but we did want to put that out there. A lot of you have plans outdoors for the weekend, whether you're camping or going to the lake or fishing or working in the yard. You know the drill. There could be some storms in the afternoon and some heavy rainfall too, possible flooding. And then the time frame on that will be basically the hottest part of the day, so between noon and evening, and I've just gone ahead and rounded it up there to midnight, as we may see a few showers lingering overnight, but I think the severe risk will subside by that point. All right, so here's what the severe weather risk looks like just across the country for tomorrow. And you'll notice we have a big bullseye here in Missouri and eastern Kansas. So Kansas City, not quite to St. Louis, Springfield, going to Branson, you might have some thunderstorms down that way, severe thunderstorms. But as that line weakens, you see a lower risk level, and so the tri-state is at a level 1 as a result. So that's why I say, well, we're on alert for some severe weather. The bigger issue may be heavy rainfall and flooding. So we go overnight through tomorrow morning, mainly clear. And then by the late morning into the afternoon, showers and storms develop. These will be pushing in later, and then cross over into western Kentucky. Additional showers and storms may follow suit through early Sunday morning, bringing that threat for flooding in there. Then we clear out and cool down to start next week. For Sunday, no severe weather risk outlined here by the Prediction Center, just general thunder there in the morning. We're at 74 degrees right now, and around the area, everybody has pulled back into the mid to upper 70s. We've got 72 at Dundee. A little cooler there. We were down to 71 this morning, so we will get cooler than that tomorrow morning, and we hit 84 this afternoon. Our temperature change, we are a lot cooler than we were last night at this time, about 11 degrees worth, and we've had the low as 6 degrees warmer than the average, and the high a little bit below what you would typically expect. We're splitting hairs. I mean, a degree, it doesn't really make that much of a difference unless it's 31 versus 32. So we go back to some orange temperatures there. We picked up 0.34 of an inch of rain this morning with those storms that rolled in around 3:30 or so. And that puts our monthly total now at 1 inch and 2/10. So we're still behind by about 1/3 of an inch, and for the year we're still drier than normal. 76, our average temperature, is warmer now than the norm, and that's because of those 90-degree days we had midweek. A quiet weather map for the most part. We have a few severe thunderstorms out near Dodge City. Amarillo would be down here, but western Kansas, the panhandle there of Oklahoma, and northeastern New Mexico. High pressure will move from west to east and keep us clear overnight, but then you'll notice those storms returning ahead of the cold front as it swoops in from the northwest on Saturday night and Sunday, followed by high pressure building in and keeping us nice and pleasant. So only up to 79 on Monday, dry for Monday, Tuesday, most of Wednesday. And then late in the week, we have the potential for more scattered showers and storms returning in there. The GFS is a little noisy there for the first half of the week, but then we get a stronger or more consistent signal for rain on Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, with everything kind of dropping down to the south then by the weekend. And our rain potential, maybe another inch or so across the week. That'd be nice. I don't think we're going to see 5 inches of rain, but you know how the GFS is if you let it run too long. But at least those two events there, tomorrow night, early Sunday, and then late in the week, could net an inch or more of total rainfall. The European model bringing rain in on Wednesday and Thursday as well. and then shifting it to the south there for the weekend with rain moving back in. And the European, we're going to let it run all the way out too. And it's a little more reserved here with about an inch of rainfall in the next 7 days. 62 tonight with clear skies, very pleasant out there. Tomorrow, warmer, 83 to 85, and we will have more humidity. So scattered thunderstorms in the afternoon and evening, some of which may produce flooding or damaging wind gusts. And that's our only first alert weather day. Then it's fairly even keeled there going into next week. Still looking at another cool down toward the end of the month and a little more rain than average for the month. As I told you yesterday and probably many times before, June we usually get about 4 inches of rain for the month, about an inch a week, and we'll get close to that, if not maybe a little more based on that longer range outlook. There's Master Eddie, Doris Klein's cat, our pet pick for tonight. Let me see if I have any questions or comments here coming in on Facebook. Facebook was out of order this morning. I tried to post something and it bounced back, and I never did get it out there. And it was great too. It was a little cat fight at home. I'll try to get that out next week. All right, let's see here if you got questions. And we have Lenny Howard on. Hey, Lenny, good to have you in there. Laura Gray watching from Dawson Springs. Hey, Laura. Cheyenne Hammonds is on. Good evening, Cheyenne. Well, see, those storms last night weren't so bad, were they? Little thunder. Any concerns for severe weather outbreaks yet? Tested widespread damaging wind giant? No. For Evansville, late June. Zach Seitz. Not that I'm seeing. I think yesterday's outbreak up in northern Illinois and Indiana was probably enough for the Midwest for a while. But no, I don't see a strong signal for that showing up at this time. William Raleigh had 7 tenths today. You know, I had 6 tenths at my house. Now, we live a couple, 3 miles apart. I'm closer to Wrights High School. You're down by Bosse Field. But the airport only picked up 1/3 of an inch. I can't figure that out. We had 6 tenths on the nose here at the station. So we must have just been in a little hot spot for heavier rainfall. But glad to have that report, William. Thank you. Jeanette Rice says, good evening, beautiful day. Okay, I'm glad you approve, right? And Jeff Miller says, good evening. Hey, Jeff, what's growing in the garden? Are you eating stuff from the garden yet? Let's see, June. Well, if you planted what, like radishes and lettuce and things like that, you've probably eaten that. I don't know if we have like okra and beans and tomatoes. It'd be too early, I think, unless you had them in a greenhouse or hothouse. Prior. So tell us what's growing in the garden. This is why we all tune in. This is our little coffee clatch here at 9 o'clock every night. All right, I got a very brief science corner for you tonight. This has to do with differences in temperature, but it could easily apply to differences in rainfall. William and I had similar rain amounts. The airport had much less. And a lot of that has to do with placement of your rain gauge and in this case, your thermometer. To get an accurate temperature, and a lot of the sensors that we use, I mean, mine's on top of the house. It's up by about 6 feet, and it's in one of these white housings. So hopefully, our temperature, though, typically runs a little bit warmer than what the airport shows. And the airport has a sophisticated array for rain gauge and everything else out there. But if you do mount a thermometer, it's best to get it away from the house and roughly 2 times distance-wise the height of your tallest object. So if you had a 20-foot tree, you'd put the thermometer out 6 feet off the ground and about 40 feet away from the house. I don't know about you, but I don't have much land around my house. If I put it 40 feet, it'd be in the middle of the street. So, you do what you have to do. And you know that your thermometer might run a little hotter or colder than what the airport would show, if that's your goal. If you're just trying to figure out the temperature of the air outside, then yeah, just put it wherever. This just in. Cheyenne Hammonds has 20 tomatoes coming in. Blackberries thriving. I forgot about blackberries. If she can keep the Japanese beetles off of them. Well, good luck. Sometimes if you put up a little of that, what is that stuff called? Cheesecloth, right? It's kind of like a meshy thing, and you put it on there. You can keep your blackberries from getting invaded by the Japanese beetles, unless, of course, they figure out a way in. So anyway, that's best practices for mounting your weather instruments. Your results may vary. and that's fine. William Raleigh, purple sweet pepper was awesome. So you got peppers already. It's been so long since I've been around a garden. My dad had a garden when I was younger, and kind of the bane of our existence, right? It's like, all right, come back. You had to go out and weed, and we were expected to help, and we'd try to sneak off. And I thought mowing the lawn was enough, and my dad was good. I mean, he didn't, it wasn't forced labor, but it was strongly encouraged to go out there. And then we'd always get into that situation. I think the first year he planted like 20 tomato plants. He was a biology teacher. I mean, he knew what was possible, and we had so many tomatoes. We were going around the neighborhood with a wagon full. And that time of year you can't give them away, because back then everybody was growing tomatoes. Okay. Now, Lenny Howard got tomato plants in his garden too. There's nothing like a homegrown tomato. BLT, wilted lettuce. You ever done that, where you grow bib lettuce, and there's another kind. I don't know if it's called romaine. There's like some kind of lettuce that it seems like you only get it out of a home garden. And I can't think of the name of it. It's kind of dark green. I think it's called bib lettuce or leaf lettuce. It's not like that stuff in the store. I mean, this stuff, you go out and you cut it off, and then my mom would wash it, and then she would wilt it. And so to do that, I'm probably telling you all stuff you already know. But go back to my childhood with me, and she'd fry bacon. Put a little vinegar and sugar and some green onion chopped up from the garden in that grease. And then you'd rip up your lettuce, right? Put it in a bowl. You pour that over, mix it, and eat it. And it was just the best thing. Wilted lettuce. I'm sure it is not healthy in any regard, but boy, was it good. I still have made it from time to time, but you got to get the right lettuce to make that really good. All right, now I have everybody heading toward the fridge for a snack, I'm sure. Who else had a question? There seems like, we got Misty Sensmeyer. That's a new name. I haven't seen that one in here. So welcome. We're glad you're here. Wow, this is all we do. We talk about weather and my past. And for some reason, people come in here and watch this. Jeff Miller has cabbage, tomatoes, onions, and radishes. Okay. Yeah, cabbage too. I like cabbage. You make your own sauerkraut. I don't know if anybody does that, where you shred it up and you put the, what do you put on? I guess sugar and vinegar maybe, and then and I don't know. I don't know how it happens, but it does, and it's really good. So I am impressed that we have so many successful gardeners out there. My big problem is Alicia Downs is in there too, even better the next day. Are you talking wilted lettuce? Could be BLTs too, I don't know. Yeah. But anyway, I'm really impressed with all of our gardeners. My problem is I don't have a sunny spot in my yard. I mean, I'm fortunate. I have these gigantic trees, and so we have a shady area around the house, but no place to really, cut open the lawn and put in, rows of crops. And I know you can have a bed garden, or you grow them in 5-gallon buckets and all that. I guess I'm just not as motivated as you all. And part of that is I just probably a sloth, I'd rather go to the farm stand and support my local economy. Jared Eagleson, it seems like summer is on its way, judging from the last couple of days. Yeah. James Allen Garrison, do we have storms tonight? No, it's going to be cool. This will be good sleeping weather. You can open the windows down to about 60. Of course, it's going to get, hot and humid tomorrow. I had fried green tomatoes for lunch. That was at a restaurant. They were really good, but man, as I've gotten, you might experience as you get older, and onions and tomatoes and stuff, they're great, but then you're burping all day, and that can be a liability when you're out there in the TV and burping your way through the forecast. All right, I'm going to roll through one more time here. James loves lightning, thunder and lightning. What you all call them, but cucumbers and onion with vinegar and sugar. Summer salad. My grandma made that. My mom made that. I've made that. Yeah, you take your cucumbers and you peel them, but not all the way. You leave a little sliver of the dark green, right? And you go all the way around. Then you cut them thin. And you put them in a bowl and you add some onion, that you've cut, that way, so it's little hoops. And then, yeah, it's, I think we use, like, I'm trying to think of the ratio, because that's important, sugar to vinegar. I thought it was half and half, but that sounds like it'd be a little too something, probably too sour. Depends on how you like it. But anyway, yeah, you put that in, then you let it sit in the fridge, preferably overnight, and yeah, it's good. You can put beets in there too. I didn't see anybody growing beets here, so that's another favorite of mine. My wife hates beets. All my kids hate beets. Why do people hate beets? I was told they taste like dirt, which I think is the appeal. AJ's watching in Grapevine, down in Hopkins County, right? I think that's in, yeah, you're in Hopkins County, Grapevine Road, going out of Madisonville. Are you growing anything down there that we can talk about here on the First Alert Weather Show at 9? Well, Janae Hughes has a bucket tomato garden, but no fruit yet. All right. Well, keep us posted. Alicia Downs, yes, wilted lettuce, day after. I never would have, well, we always eat it all, so we have to use have a little restraint. All right. Well, I think we've run through the whole pantry here. Let's see. So Byron will be in here tomorrow. As you know, Michael Fecka left, so you're going to see more of us kind of at odd times. And then I'll be back with you on Sunday, and we'll get Arden back in the mix later next week. She's on a little, she's off for a few days, so that's good. We try to kind of give everybody a few days off, and then you rotate back in, because otherwise, we're working 6 and 7 days here. Hopefully, we'll have a fourth meteorologist for you to meet soon. But until that time, it'll be me and the old standbys here, right? Byron and me. So thanks for watching. Please stay safe. Stay tuned to the weather tomorrow. I'll see you on 14 News at 10, and have a great weekend.